Congratulations. I don't hear anybody saying thank you. Is it because you don't believe that you need to be congratulated? I want to congratulate you because if I had a choice of when I was going to be born and where I would like to be born, then I would choose something like you've chosen. To be born at this age, so that I'll be at about 20 at this age, and to be born here in India. Do you agree with me or not? And why do you agree with me? Let me try to give you some reasons why I would want to be 20 at this age. It's a fantastic moment to be 20. Anybody who's beyond 20 will tell you that, so that's nothing new. It's a great time to be in India. And this is a great time, I call it the golden age of globalization, because at this point of time, the truth of business is beginning to emerge. And the truth of any business is very simple, that the customer is the king. When I was born, and some of the other colleagues of mine on the dais may be born, we were still at a time where it was questionable whether the customer was the most important person. So you still had those old stories of paying up an advance. Your parents would remember that. Paying up a full advance for a Bajaj scooter and waiting in queue for a few years, and still not getting the color that you wanted, and you didn't have much of a choice. And you've probably heard enough stories of those. So we are born in great times where, as a customer today, I get to choose. Not only I get to choose, I will also be able to choose my service provider in a few months, I hope. But I'm very happy with Airtel, just for the records, okay. So we have a lot of choice, and we have that choice at a very cheap price. One of the cheapest calls you can make in the world. We are lucky to be born in India that we can use communication facilities like that. But there's another reason why you should be very happy for being born in these times. Because for the first time, to me, business is quite simple. It is ensuring that you build a platform, you serve or produce something which a customer requires, and while you are keeping that customer satisfied, you also manage to keep all the other stakeholders happy. And if in this process you can make some money, then you are a successful business. Now that's important, because at this point of time, the other stakeholder, which is becoming very, very important, is the employee or the manpower or the human resource, whatever name you call him by. If I were to go to, I don't know if you heard of, or some of you read Boyd, James Boyd, and his trilogy of people, ideas and things. And he puts it very simply, you need good people who can give you great ideas, and together then with those ideas we can develop or manufacture or produce great things. Unfortunately, a lot of us in the business concentrate too much on the things and how to get those things to the market. But if you were to, all of us in the HR world, and not necessarily just the HR managers, Sukesh very rightly said HR belongs to all of us. Anybody who wants to make a successful business, HR is a part of that, have to be engaged in this journey of making sure that this stakeholder, that is human resource, is also happy. Let me quickly refer to a very short story. This gentleman has been my inspiration for the way we run our company. That's Reiki Electronics. It's about 500 people plus, right here in Noida in Sector 58, making a very tiny component called electronic components. We are happy because that makes a lot of electronics works, including the microphone that I'm using right now. I was in a very small town called Ahmednagar, somewhere between Pune and Nasik, I believe. I landed up there late in the night one day. I'm on a sales call to visit a Videocon or 2 or 3 Videocon plants the next day because our capacitors are sold to them. And this is happening to me quite a few years ago when I'm just being introduced to the business. So I'm there in this place, and late in the night I land up in a small hotel because there are no big hotels there and probably we can't afford them. I stay in one of them, and the next morning when I get up, I have a quick breakfast, I'm trying to get to work. I go to the reception and it says, "Excuse me sir, but can you guide me to a car, a taxi for the day, because I want to visit 3 or 4 plants and I'll need the guy for the day." And he has a smile on his face. He says, "You're probably coming here for the first time. We don't have that kind of service in this town at the moment, but you can use an auto rickshaw." And so there is a queue outside. You can take any one of them, but there is a Mullaji. You will recognize him by his attire. If you want somebody responsible, go to him. So I say okay, and I look at this long line of autos, and everybody's chatting. Somebody's having a bidi, somebody's having a pan. There is this one gentleman that you can recognize from a distance, because he is busy polishing his auto rickshaw. He is in a white kurta pajama or whatever, with a Mullaji's topi, nice flowing beard, very respectable looking gentleman. So I approach him and I say, I want an auto for the day. And the receptionist has somehow referred me to you. So he says, yeah. So we have a short discussion of where I want to be. He says, sure, you're most welcome. We haggle a little bit. I start haggling a little bit about the price. And he says, sir, why don't you come? And we will talk about this on the way. So I said, that's smart. I get into as I sit in the auto rickshaw, I find something very different. One, that this is looking much cleaner than any auto rickshaw that I've gone into. Second, as I'm sitting at the passenger seat, I find there are two whiteboards, one on my left and one on my right. And the one whiteboard has the names of the trains coming in that day and the timings at which it will arrive today or how late they're running. The second whiteboard has the names of the theater and what movies are running in town, 2 or 3 theaters. As a thought for the day at the bottom of it. I tell this guy, it starts sort of telling me that I'm with someone special. And before I can even start, absorbing this surprise, this guy picks up his little driver's seat and he takes out two newspapers out of that. And he said, I guess you're not from here and you can't read Marathi. Here's the English newspaper of the day. And then he shows me a bottle of mineral water and he says, if you get thirsty, it's here, it's sealed, and it's for no charge at all. So we begin chatting through the day. He takes me from one factory to the other. We have a fantastic time trying to learn about what he's trying to do, what motivates him. And then somewhere there I realized that he also has a certificate hung behind me, which is the certificate that he's the president of the local auto rickshaw trade union. And I said, Mullaji, now I have a problem with you because in the years I grew up as a manager, I somehow don't like trade unions very much because they don't seem to serve any purpose, either for the labor or for the management. And he says, yeah, you're right. So we have a very interesting, fairly intellectual discussion about trade unionism. And then at the end of the day, I ask him, what is it that motivates you? What makes you so different? Because I am delighted to be with you today. And he, of course, tells me that's no surprise because everybody is delighted to be with me. He says, I wanted to be a PCS officer, kind of a state IAS, a state civil servant. And when I was preparing for those exams, my father fell very ill. He had to be taken to the hospital. Unfortunately, he died. I didn't have the money. And I just couldn't get to the exam, so that was over. That dream was gone. And then one thing led to the other, and I became an auto rickshaw driver. And he says, then, for 1 or 2 years, I had this terrible time in my life where I began to curse me and my family and my father who had to die at the wrong time because I missed out this huge career opportunity. He says, then something happened to me, and I said, look, why do I do that? Yes, fate has, or destiny has kept me away from becoming a PCS officer. And fate has made me an auto rickshaw driver. But no destiny can snatch away the opportunity to become the best auto rickshaw driver in the world. And that's what I am trying to be. And he said, in that journey, God has been kind. Today I own this auto rickshaw. So I'm trying to be the best auto rickshaw business owner there is in the world. And that kind of shook me up. It stayed with me for a long time. Because he is my HR inspirer. When I came back to my company, how can I create 500 Mullajis in my company? Each one of you, each one of them who's going to take his job so seriously. Each one of them who's going to think about that customer day in and day out. Who's going to enjoy the process of being able to do this. And that's the journey I started 15 years ago with Deki Electronics. I'm very glad to report that we have great success in that area. Just to rattle off some sort of evidences, because you're still studying the subject. What can you do when you begin to think in those realms? When you begin to be inspired by people like Mullaji? So what we do is a completely transparent organization. Every morning at 9 o'clock we have a prayer. 500 people are spread over 24 hours because we operate through the day. So at that point of time at 9 o'clock there are about 200, 250 people who are present. Everybody comes together, we sing a prayer. And the prayer talks about customer satisfaction. It's a secular prayer. You can pray to whatever God you believe in. We talk about employee satisfaction. We talk about learning from our mistakes. We talk about spreading happiness to our families and beyond. We talk about environmental management so that we waste less, we reject less, so that we pollute the earth lesser as we stay here. There is also a thought for the day, and I'll share another very quick story with you on that. Mullaji also made me believe in the huge, unlimited potential of human beings. So one of the things I started here, I will take 2 minutes. One of the things we started was also a talk for the day. So one employee every day has to come up to this prayer gathering and talk about anything he believes in. And there's no editing, and he doesn't have to report to anybody about it. It could be a movie he saw yesterday. So there comes in one gentleman, and Rajesh is here, he's our HR manager. So one gentleman who's part of my housekeeping team, he was in charge of a few toilets in the factory. And this gentleman goes to Rajesh and says, Rajesh ji, I have a big problem. My name is up on the board to speak tomorrow. I have never spoken to more than 5 people in my life together. You want me to speak to 200 people, it's out of question. So Rajesh tells him, look, there are many rules in this company. A lot of them can be avoided, and I can give you ways around them, but this one I have no choice. The only one who can stop you from doing that is go to Vinod and talk to him, and he might be able to help you. So this guy comes to me, is very nervous, because he says, look, I can do anything, but I can't speak. So I try to talk him out of that and say, this is the purpose of why we want you to speak. Speak anything that is close to your heart. And I don't think there are going to be 200 people there, because you can only see 4 or 5 people in the front. Look at those 4 or 5 people and forget the rest of them. Talk to them. So anyway, he goes away, of course, not very convinced. And next day I'm there at 9 o'clock because I want to see what this guy has to say. So he's there, quite nervous. And he starts off his little speech. And he says, I thought all night I could not sleep. Because what do I say to people like you who are educated, who run these very fantastic, sophisticated machinery, a lot of which I don't understand. और मेरा काम है, मैंने सोचा मेरा काम है सफाई कर्मचारी. So मेरा क्या काम है? He says, मेरा काम है साफ करना. फिर मैंने सोचा कि मैं क्या साफ करता हूं? मैं वो साफ करता हूं जो आप लोग गंदा करते हैं. तो मैंने सोचा कि मैनेजमेंट ने इतनी अच्छी चांस दी मुझे, जो लोग गंदा करते हैं उनसे मैं बात कर सकता हूं. So he rattled off this beautiful speech on saying how if you were to use these toilets and this factory better, my job would get much easier. And he touched upon a very raw nerve. And he says, मेरी जो बहनें हैं फैक्ट्री में, आपके अच्छे लंबे लंबे बाल हैं, और फिर आप उन बाल को कंघा करते हैं वहां पे टॉयलेट्स में, और उसको पूरे को निकाल के वॉश बेसिन में डाल देते हैं. नहीं, पुट अप हिज हैंड्स एंड ही सेड, इन्हीं हाथों से मैं उसको उस वॉश बेसिन से निकालता हूं और डस्टबिन में डालता हूं. एंड ही सेज, तब उस मिनट मुझे ऐसा लगता है काश मैं भी पढ़ा लिखा होता कि मुझे ये काम नहीं करना पड़ता. And he let it sink in very, very deep. And he told me standing there that if you get the right people, give them the right platform, tell them what they are responsible for, and then leave them free, allow them to perform. That is what HR means to me. Thank you very much.